Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to the first live for Driven Wild Outdoors. What's up, Mr. Gavin?
What's up, everybody?
All right, let's go through the list. Dirk Connor, you're early in the chat. Hello, good to hear from you. Michael Cooper, hello. What's going on? Bronco 78. Who is driving wild tonight? There you go. I think, well, not us because I'm at home, but who knows? Maybe in next week when we're heading to Michigan. 4 high, 4 low. Good evening. How are you? What is going on? And if you can hear me, let me know you can hear us. It's pretty lighting. We've changed some lighting around a little bit. So if everything looks a little bright, let me know if it looks all right. Sorry, I still have my Bronco Wild Outdoors little sign here because it's like not an easy thing to do to change your name. And we'll kind of talk about it a little bit tonight. And Gavin, what is up, my man? Why don't you tell everyone? Well, you got to speak so you can hear. So
Hello.
You've been doing kid stuff all summer.
Yes.
And we've got a new puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And the puppy's keeping, man, I need a pop filter on his mic. The puppy's keeping you busy. And going camping with your friends. And you're doing a lot of fishing this year. Don't hit on the table, my man.
No.
You're a lot of fishing this year. Will you tell everybody about your fishing and what's going on with that?
Yeah, so
Here you go, talking to me.
So it's good. I'm getting a new rod soon.
Yep.
And I just got these like mystery tackle boxes from Dick's Sporting Goods. I got I don't know Bronco 78.
Yes, you do. No, Bronco 78.
No, I don't know what.
Oh, you don't know where
Yeah.
Gavin said he doesn't know where he's been hiding. He's been hiding he's been hiding next to a lake somewhere.
Probably.
Right. Fishing, his friend's house, camping, doing all that cool stuff.
And,
Are you? Go ahead. I'm
what?
sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, are you looking forward to next week? We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We have something to share about dealers, an article over on the Ford Authority. And we're talking about our channel stuff. And is there any Bronco news? So we have no Raptor update, no build date or anything. So sorry about that. I'd love to know. I'm starting to get a little nervous, honestly. I don't know how many order holders don't have build dates yet, but we do not. But anyway, Gavin, go ahead and finish. What were you talking about?
Yes, I've just been distracted with the puppy and stuff. It's been pretty good fishing. My dad said that I'm getting a new rod soon, which he needs to follow up on.
Right.
Well, not yet. But it's just like in the future. Because I have like an older little kid's rod. It's like a blue and green little push button rod. I kind of want another push button, but I also kind of want one of the professional ones.
Alrighty. Hey, can you guys hear?
Better.
Can you hear us a little bit better now? Yeah, I think you got to speak up. Either that or I'm losing my hearing. Probably both. Probably a little bit of everything today.
Yeah, I can only hear.
So Gavin's getting a new fishing pole. We have all kinds of reels.
Sure am. Dang. I have to
Testing.
Really
right.
close.
So we're doing all that. Who knows? Maybe we'll get into something this weekend. You know, is the Overlanding Expo this weekend? I don't have my phone with me. I left my phone downstairs, but I don't need it. You don't have to go get it. But I think the Overlanding Expo is this weekend, isn't it? Here in Virginia. Maybe somebody can do that. Oh, Pezhead, thank you very much. And by the way, you said good evening earlier. Thank you. 4 high, 4 low. Thanks for letting us know that. So we have some pretty cool stuff coming up here. Let's get right on to the I don't want to make a big deal of it, but the channel name, it was by choice. And I kind of miss, already the old Bronco Wild Outdoors name, but no, we're looking to grow our.
That makes sense now.
What?
Sign.
Driven
there.
Yeah. Well, this was a book banner, for my book that I wrote a few years ago. But yeah, it kind of works into the whole thing on my speaking gig and the book stuff and stuff like that. But I want to grow the brand and start selling some, pretty cool gear, products and stuff. And I just wanted my own name, my own brand. I didn't want to have anything going on there. And, also we want to do reviews of other vehicles, right? Other types of vehicles and doing a lot of cool stuff. And that's the only reason why, even though I don't like disrupting stuff. on our end. I don't mind going into a business and changing things up a little bit. But anyway, and that's the only reason why. And that's where we'll leave that. So next week, we're supposed to be, and I say supposed to be, you never know anymore, all the crazy stuff that happens, but we're supposed to be in Michigan next week. And Gavin, when I told you where we're going on Friday, at least what we're scheduled to do, what do you think?
Sorry, there's something on my foot.
The glass table, so you can see through here.
Yeah, that's like a flying.
So,
I think it's pretty cool. So,
Fairlane.
Yeah. Can we tell them where we're going?
Yeah, talking to the mic though.
So we're going to Fairlane, Michigan. Of
the Fairlane Estate.
Yeah, and that is where Henry Ford himself lived. And yeah, so we're going there on a little tour, and then we're gonna go on a parade around.
So we're doing Michigan Assembly Plant. We're going there, and then we're going to Ford headquarters. Now, this is all over on the Bronco Nation, by the way. So if you're interested and you're going to be there on Friday, go to the Bronco Nation and look at the schedule, and you'll see some of the stuff on there. I RSVP'd for it, so hopefully we have that spot. But we'll be there, and that's on Friday. And then, of course, Saturday, All Terrain Nation is heading up a meet and greet, and details, on that's evolving. And we'll be there for that. And then I guess we have the cruise.
Because we have so many electronics around. Behind that sign, he has an open water bottle that's very close to the edge.
Hey, Overlandy for fun. What is going on? What did you win? Winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, next. Good old Chick-fil-A, right?
Yeah, we'll bring it. Yep, you want some chicken dinner from Chick-fil-A and nugget meal. So whenever we get
let's see here. Hold on.
Oh yeah, you are.
Let's go. Let's see. Yeah, 4x4 lows at 15 Raptors were stolen. Yes, it was actually on dealer lots, from what I understand. The question is, 4x4 lows said, "Is it true 15 Bronco Raptors were stolen at the factory?" The only thing that I read was it was F-150s from dealers. Yeah. And I didn't hear anything about from the factory. I heard from dealers all over, and then they recovered them pretty quick. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But I guess they're hot commodities, and who knows about the Bronco Raptors. But yeah, what we're talking about earlier is basically no build date on that for us. And so, we'll see. I mean, who knows? And hopefully nothing changes. We deal with a great dealer, and they're awesome. And so I can't wait when I get the call from them or the email. I see the email or whatever. I think last time I've got the email and a call within a few hours of each other saying, "Hey, we got word." So hopefully that'll come up soon. But anyway, Gavin, we're talking about next week. So we're going to leave here on Thursday. We'll be up there Friday. So the Woodward Dream Cruise is what we're talking about. And we get to go. We've RSVP'd over at the Bronco Nation. We're going on some of these, Fairlane Estate, the former, the home of Henry Ford when he was here. I guess Ford headquarters and Michigan Assembly Plant, which I think will be cool. Don't you think? See that?
The Broncos were built.
Hey, John, what's going on? Better late than never. I'm just glad you showed up. So yeah, we're getting a little roll tonight. We don't have a guest tonight. Tonight's show is going to be a little bit shorter than usual because we just want to talk about a few things that we're going to be reviewing, changing, and our trip next week. So All Terrain Nation, like I said, check out their channel and Instagram and stuff, and you'll see the updates for the meet and greet. So anyone that can be there at the Woodward Dream Cruise next week, that would be awesome. And we're definitely looking forward to it. Get to see some new stuff, go to new places, and it doesn't matter if it's a Bronco or a Jeep or cars, what type. There's going to be some really cool things there. There's going to be a lot of photo ops there. There's going to be a lot of mods, a lot of people trading ideas. We'll probably see something that we want to do to our Broncos, wouldn't you say? So, and what some of the stuff on the Area 51, the 21 Bronco, I have to run it by Gavin first, since that's going to be his Bronco in a few years. So, Do you want bigger tires?
Yeah.
Like 37s?
Yeah.
So he wants 37s.
Yeah.
I think they'll look cool on that. We'll go up there and probably see an Area 51 soft top with, 37s and just the right lift, and who knows?
Well, not with the Bronco Wild Outdoors logo on it.
Well, no, but ours might not have the logo either. I didn't tell you, man. Got to keep them things a secret. But yeah, like I said, we're looking forward to heading up there next week. And as of right now, we're just going to take one Bronco. It wouldn't make sense to.
Blue one.
Yes. The 21, man.
Yeah.
That was Gavin's request. Hey, can we take the soft top? Yes. But unless something changes last minute, we're driving one, and that's when we're going. Hey, what's up? Will you tell everyone in detail what do you think the difference is? And just so you know, if you're just tuning in or just watching this, we have a 21 soft top and a 22 MIC, and they're both Sasquatch, both 2.7s. So what do you think, Gavin? What does it feel like? Why do you say that?
I just feel more comfortable in the blue one. Hello, I'm gone in 60. So I don't know why, it's just like, because we got it first, and that was like a big moment for us. Like the green one was also a big moment, but it was like, okay, so we kind of know what this is. But the blue one, it was like, okay, wow, this is really cool. And the green one's still cool. But I just like driving the blue one more, because if you want to put the top back, you can put the top back anywhere, because you don't have to take it off. Green one, that's a different story, because it has the hard top. And
still not complicated. It just takes a little bit longer, and storage, right?
I don't know why. I just like the blue one better.
I think I know why.
Why?
First one we ordered,
Uh-huh.
we tracked it. We knew every city or county, I should say, that it stopped by on the train. We did the whole stalking it when it came into Roanoke, Virginia, and then Crew. Mm-hmm. And the only thing we didn't know is what mile marker on the interstate it was on the truck. But we knew when it was going to be at the dealer, and it was kind of cool. So somewhere around 4 a.m. it showed up.
And you were actually there for the green one to be delivered at the dealership.
The green one passed me on Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Yeah, I was driving down the road, and I saw this green one headed, and it's only Ford dealership in the area. So I was like, I know whose that is. So did a U-turn and kind of chased it down.
Early January, so not many eruption greens would be rolling out that early.
Yeah, it was early. It was built January or the week of the 3rd. I think it was built on the 3rd, the blend date. Anyway, let's go back to. I want to see here what.
Tired.
Yeah, I know. Quit yawning, dude. Man, you're making me tired. Overlanding for Fun said there was a Bronco stolen with the keys left in it in the Nashville area. I did see that. That's unfortunate, man. That Bronco, I have to think if you own that, it would never feel the same, would it? You get it back. I mean, hopefully not too much damage done to it, but I didn't hear about that. But that is crazy. Let's see. Bronco 78. I heard about that. Okay. He's talking about that. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Bronco 78. You think, of course, news spreads, and that's kind of news. It's the new Bronco. And I don't know how many's been ripped off by now, but I'm sure it's been more than that one going from there. Hey, Nick, how are you doing? Nick was nice enough to send us some pictures over on Instagram, and it's a cool Bronco you have there. 1970, the blue. It's that dark blue. And when I mentioned before that I had a blue Bronco for about a week that I bought from someone and flipped it, back when I was 24 years old, it needed more work than I could do to it. It was that exact same color with a white top. So pretty cool, Nick. And we're going to put together an early Bronco content show one night, and I want to show your pictures on that because they were excellent, and the videos as well. And I do appreciate you sending those. I really do. But yeah, good looking Bronco, the doors on that, the top. I can't wait till you get it on the road and start enjoying it. That is going to be awesome. And I need to take a picture of the early Bronco, Gavin, that's down here by the piano teacher's house. The one to the back entrance to the softball fields. Yeah, we need to ask him. Say, hey, I'm gone in 60. What's going on? He said hello, Gavin, to you.
Oh, hello. Oh, yep. I said hi.
Oh, you did? Okay.
When I was telling the story.
Oh, okay.
About blue one.
Sorry about that. I was over here reading something. Let's see. Do you think they'll have 3 new trims at the Dream Cruise? Bronco 78 asked. I guess
That's one of our main things.
Yeah, that's one. We're going to talk about that with John. I would think so. I mean, I guess the eruption green was kind of unveiled or revealed there, I should say, revealed there. I don't know. I don't know. I would hope so because we know that the order banks open soon. September 12th, I think, unless that's changed again. And also the order is going to be done. The order bank's going to be done a little bit different. They have until the end of August for reservation holders to get their orders in, and then any unbuilt orders are going to be built first, which I think is a great idea. It's a great plan to take care of everyone's been waiting. And then I don't know at what point, maybe it's kind of like time will tell when the order banks will open for new orders for 23 for new customers. So Gavin, don't you think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been waiting for 2 years, wouldn't you want to do it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to get yours first?
Uh-huh.
Right. So holding that off. Now, I do know you don't want to lose momentum, so you need to keep the pipeline full. So even before the last one rolls out, the orders have to start happening and coming in. So there'll be a little overlap, and you'll see that the order bank says open for new buyers, but you haven't received yours yet. Well, that's the way it's going to work out. And they're also going to build, Gavin. They're going to build limited dealer stock, and so basically what's happening is the trims without all of the the goodies on it, right? So you take a base. Even a base Sasquatch would probably be, a little bit more of a restraint than say just a base non-Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ben, probably maybe Outer Banks. I don't really know at what point do they consider the trims with all the extras.
Probably be like an Outer Banks or a Big Ben non-Sasquatch. I mean, maybe occasionally you'll see the Sasquatch.
Yeah. Well, I think, definitely Badlands and Wild Track.
And probably leather or cloth.
Right. Maybe. Well, I don't know about that. I know the 2.7 was supposed to be an issue. I don't know if it's still an issue or not. MIC's sort of, getting better, but I don't know how that's working I
think that it'll be leather or cloth interior.
Yeah. So, but Bronco 78, you were saying, and Overlanding for Fun said, yeah, that would be a good time to do it. I do agree. A lot of eyeballs there, a lot of people there, a lot of, a lot of stuff happening. But let's see. Dirk, Gavin, I thought the Blue Bronco was yours. Yeah, Dirk, it is. In what? In like 5 years. So, yeah, Dirk said he's the 21 juror. So yeah, that's what I was saying. I have to get everything approved from Gavin before we do it. Yeah. And Dr. Detroit said, I heard that the Bronco is still in Rapid Red, Badlands, and Black Mountain. Arkansas on the side. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, I thought I saw a comment on here from Dr. Detroit about the. Let's see. Oh, okay. Dr. Detroit said, I hope to have the Brat by then. Speaking of the Woodward Dream Cruise, releasing a few tomorrow for shipping, I'm told. Well, that's great. I don't know if they've shipped any. Of course, I haven't seen anyone posting anything that they've received it. So, who knows? But there's going to be some lucky owners. I do want to know how they're shipping them. Are they leaving on rail and then, standard truck, or leaving on truck? Or is it specialized hauling? I don't really know. I know that the destination charge wasn't much different, if any, from our Broncos. So I would think that specialized hauling might be a little bit more expensive, but I don't know about that. It'd be interesting to know. But yeah, hopefully the Woodward Dream Cruise will show us a lot of new stuff, Gavin. A lot of new stuff. John had a comment about the oats. Let's see. Let's go back to that here.
Hold on. I want to read.
Oh, what is that? So Gavin's reading. Overlanding for Fun said, "Hey Gavin, since the 21 Bronco is yours, you should ask. Here, move that. You should ask or demand that your parents give or pay your mileage depreciation since they're driving it to Michigan and racking up the mileage."
Yep.
I mean, don't give him any ideas, because he'll start saying, well, because he doesn't forget anything, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't forget anything. Let's see. I'm going to 60 new retail orders for the Bronco are not going to open until fourth quarter. So the earliest would be October. I did hear that. Like there's something happening late October. I think October 28th is the cutoff for the 22s, I believe. Let's see. Dr. Detroit said they have not shipped any. They're on hold for quality assurance checks. If everything goes well, shipping starts in the AM. That is awesome. Well, and
sorry, but I'm excited to see what colors will be available for the Bronco on 23s.
Yeah, there's going to be some new colors. We do know that's coming. I want to get back to, let's see. I think where was that comment, Gavin? I think, here you go. Johnson Nelson said, do you have any info on the Oats model, what it is? I do not. What I have is an imagination. And what I mean by that is I think it's going to be a hybrid. I think they picked a two-door to make it a hybrid. I can't imagine what other trim it would be. Gavin, can you? Before you fall out of the chair going sideways over there, my man? I don't know. What do you think it's going to be? We talked about it when we did the video. I released the video, last Sunday, maybe it was?
I think it's going to be either a hybrid or electric.
A plug-in hybrid or?
Yeah. And it'll have 35s on it. Standard.
I disagree with you on that one.
Why?
So if it's an EV or if it's a hybrid, let me say it right. If it's a hybrid, I think it'll have the smaller tires, just like the spy photos of the ones that was tested last year. I think it was. It'll have smaller tires. It'll be sort of that, basic, maybe, who knows? Maybe high package. Soft top, or no, it wouldn't be a soft top two-door, so it'd be MIC top. But I think it'd be the 33s at the biggest. That's what I think. And that's if it's a hybrid. Who knows? Maybe it's just an entirely new model and we have no idea about it. I know the T6 platform, the ladder frame, is suitable for hybrid. It gives them room to move and install the bigger transmission with the electric motor in it. I don't know if it's like a small 49, 50 horse motor there. I don't know why. It's just, it caught everyone off guard. So it's definitely something. I don't think it's a new, I don't think it's like a new trim, like, Badlands, Wild Track, Black Diamond, something like that. Do you? You think it's hybrid? Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's a hybrid? I mean, I just asked you that, but I want to elaborate a little bit more.
It's because it has a weirder name, the Oat.
Strange name?
Yeah, it has a strange name. We haven't had a...
Bless you, by the way.
Thank you. We haven't had a sign or like a clue, or we haven't had any sign of a electric or hybrid Broncos. So,
yeah, and it'll be one of the best kept secrets in Detroit, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Now, the fact that it's a two-door, that'd be a two-cylinder, a two-door. It's interesting. I know, and we could be wrong. Maybe it's something. I tell you why I don't think it's like a street version of the DR. And I said this in my video. I was listening to one of the engineers about the Raptor and the Braptor, and they were saying they needed the extra wheelbase for stability because of the performance, suspension, what the Braptor can do, right? What it's capable of doing. They needed the stability of that wheelbase, so it ended up being a four-door, of course. I don't think if that was seriously an issue, then I don't see why the two-door would be a performance, package. And maybe it is something in between a Wild Track and a Raptor. I guess it could be.
Could be anything.
It could be anything, and that's where we're at right now. And maybe we'll find out in a week. Maybe, who knows? I don't really know.
4 minutes.
And
Wednesday, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and by the way, 4 High 4 Low, thank you for saying that. Yeah, please hit the like button right now. Help spread this out to YouTube. Anytime you change something, on any social media or whatever, you change like a name or you change a lot of stuff within the platform, it really slows you down on growth. And so there's a lot of people right now that organically might not be seeing this pop up in their feed. So if you hit that like button, you would greatly help us out. And if you're watching live right now or in replay, then subscribing would be awesome, and hitting the like button then as well. That would be great. And we do appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, but it's like everyone, we all have our ideas about this oats, but I think what shocked everyone is, we kind of knew it was assumed that the heritage was coming. Now, it wasn't assumed that there was a 2-door and a 4-door heritage. Well, you would think, okay, they would pick one or two, but that wasn't a huge shock. The huge shock is there's a heritage and a heritage limited, and each of those are available in 2-door and 4-door. So that's where the question gets in. It's going to be a trim thing, I think. The table's kind of loud there. That it's going to be a trim feature. And I was thinking maybe the Heritage Limited is going to be the custom leather. It's going to be painted fender flares, painted tops, painted grill. But then again, maybe the grill and the tops are going to be painted on either one of them. I have no idea. So there has to be something that changes other than the price point. Because if the price point changes, then... Man, you're just like all over my words tonight, aren't you? So if there's a price point, is that better? Yeah. Change between the two, then there has to be obviously a difference, right? So I'm thinking maybe the Heritage is going to be available in a soft top as well as the MIC. So I don't really know. All Terrain Nation, hey, what's going on? Sorry to wake you. We've been on here for 20 minutes, man. But we were just mentioning, by the way, you're going to keep us updated on the meetup, the meet and greet at 22 minutes. No. And John, thank you for saying that. John said, thank you for your outstanding thoughts on the oats. I appreciate that. It's like everyone else. We have a guess, and it will truly go down. If it is something big like a hybrid, it'll go down as one of the best kept secrets, I think, around the whole Bronco thing. But yeah, I'm just not crazy about the EV stuff in general. And so I don't know. Are you leaving? Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody you're leaving for the night?
I am. So good night, everybody. I am extremely tired. I do not have a clue why I'm extremely tired.
Because you got up extremely early.
At like 7?
All right.
That's not extremely.
High five. All right, brother. See you.
High five, everybody.
Good night, man.
Wherever you are. Hello.
All right, go watch it on your computer you don't have anymore, and then so we'll get that for you, and then go watch it on TV and chat. Keep me straight there, little man.
Bye.
Okay, Jason K, where did you get the Sasquatch hat? Okay, well, this just says I believe on it, and I got it from a little mom and pop style shop in Townsend, Tennessee, actually between Pigeon Forge and Townsend. I think it's called Wares or Ware Valley Road that runs in between. There's a little wood shop there. It's some type of store, and just stopped in there and they had it. And I figured, hey, what the heck? I bought it. And it's one of the most comfortable hats I've ever had, but I had to get it because the Sasquatch, dude. If you've ever been to Townsend, man, that's like considered the Sasquatch capital. It seems to be of the East Coast over there. Like there's Sasquatch stuff everywhere and the cutouts and cool place. You get a chance next year, go to Super Celebration East and you'll see all. It's pretty cool. Yeah, let's see. I want to make sure I get all the comments because, hey, without a co-host over here, sometimes it's hard to do that. And Nick, I'll tell Gavin you said hello. Hey, let's look at this thing here. I want to show you something. Now over on the Bronco, excuse me, it's a different story here. Over on the Ford Authority, which has really great content, by the way, I highly suggest you go there and check out their stuff. I want to look at something here. You can see the title of this study suggests Ford dealers should refrain from charging over MSRP. Well, I'm not mocking this article at all, but I mean, as far as the content, it's like, well, yeah, that study. Yeah. And I do appreciate them doing the story on it because I had no idea there was a study done. New inventory of the vehicles, we all know it's been low, right? So price has been crazy high, and then dealers can get what they can get for these vehicles. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people upside down in their loan, and I don't really like that. I've been blessed to deal with a great great dealer. You order something, everything gets done, communication's outstanding, and the deal is exactly as it was explained to you when you did the deal, right? So there's no surprises. And there's a lot of good dealers out there that do that. And then there's the ones we've heard otherwise. But, if you can believe that it took a study to determine that, well, I mean, look, it's already hard to produce the vehicles. And then you don't need to scare people off, when the vehicle shows up. And then on top of every single thing, uh, costing more, which by the way, in July, the real numbers is 8.5% inflation. It's not zero, but it's 8.5%. And so everything, is more expensive, right? So I just think that, dealers could really, really help out and create more business in the future by doing what's right now. And so I know our dealer really has a good name, and people have been treated really good there during the worst of the car buying times. And so I would imagine when things free up a little bit, it's going to stay crazy for a long time. Who knows if it'll never go back to, I think, what we call normal being the inventory levels and, so many months of supply. I think it'll always be low inventory, and it'll be more of an ordering system like we have. And there's a lot of control in that. I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. I just know that if you've got to feed the market, you've got to feed the vehicle market enough vehicles so that the scarcity is not there and people are willing to pay more than the vehicle is technically worth. And, some people argue, well, they're not worth what they're selling for anyway. That's another argument. But what I'm saying is the numbers, the MSRP number, that being say the number, when you pay over that, obviously it is what it is. Now, if it's a private seller selling it, they don't have to sell it, and someone wants a vehicle and they want to pay it, good for them. That's a great deal. But what we mean is people that need a vehicle, and the consumer or the shop, where they go shopping for a vehicle is typically a dealer. And if that dealer's marking it up, then there's nowhere to turn, right? And used cars have gone up, especially that 5 to 8 year old vehicle that was also it had pretty good numbers 10 years ago. Well, those prices have jumped. And then the say third tier vehicle, a little bit older vehicles, more mileage, to 10 to 15-year-old vehicles have really skyrocketed as well. And those vehicles will continue to go up in price, in my humble opinion, because if you just look at it as credit squeezes, and then the people that were buying the fairly low miles, very lightly used vehicle now might be buying that 15-year-old vehicle or that 10-year-old vehicle with a lot of miles on it. And so, the market's just nuts right there. But anyway, the Ford Maverick has been a hit. I mean, other brands have had their hits, but the Ford Mavericks had been a huge hit for Ford. Of course, the Bronco, we talk about it all the time right here on Extreme Bronco Live every Wednesday night. And as you know, we talked about the Bronco, and we talked about what Ford is doing, which is outstanding. When the order banks open, it's to fulfill the original reservation and order holders. And I just think that's great. And some people say, well, it should have been done. None of us can go back in the past and worry about what's happening right now, because that's what's setting the tone for the future. And they are saying that, hey, that's what they're going to do. And if all goes well, and then also they might not have enough of the components to build all of the trims, with the toe, the 2.7, Sasquatch, maybe MIC. So dealers are then going to have an opportunity to get what can be built, what fills the lineup, right? So non-Sasquatch, and I'm sure one or two will go out as that. But dealers are going to be able to end up with inventory, which then the really good dealers that sell at MSRP will been helping, right? Someone that, sure, they roll by a dealership and they decide to buy a Bronco and they have one. And some people say, well, I'm still waiting. But it's not your trim anyway. If they don't have the parts to build your trim, well, then, there you go. it makes sense. The line's got to keep moving. Production has to keep going. So build what you can in between fulfilling orders that you have, parts and pieces for. So I just think it's a really good deal. And I see happy customers there. The extreme effects of the supply chain breakdowns and inflation seem to be the perfect storm. So if you take the plant shutdowns, which all over the world, which then leads into a supply chain issue, then you have the fact that there are a lot of supplies sitting in warehouses that can't be moved. So that's part of the issue now. I know in the building industry, there's warehouses full of stuff we need, but it can't get from there to here. Right. And so now, even when it is getting built, there's the transportation component. There's just been so much chaos within the supply chain. And then, conflicts in different parts of the world where different pieces and parts come from. And it's like, good Lord. So it's just been that perfect storm. So inflation being caused by, trillions being dumped into the economy, and then inflation being caused by low supply, high demand. And that's like considered the perfect storm. And so that's just where we're at with the car market. And this is old news. You all know it. I just thought it was interesting that a study suggests that when we all know it. And I appreciate the Ford Authority for doing this article. It's very, very cool. And head over there, by the way. They always have some good articles. And there's some, I'm not even going to show it. Go over there and look up the Ranger Raptor, the right-hand steer one that spy photos of. It is a sharp looking vehicle. Originally I said, well, maybe I don't do something on, hang on a minute, let's go back over here. Maybe I don't buy a Ranger Raptor, but like we'd have to get rid of something, obviously. But man, it's a cool looking vehicle. So if I was looking for that smaller, I say a little bit smaller, not necessarily in wheelbase, but just overall a little bit smaller truck, I would definitely go with the new Ranger. And I guess it's supposed to be maybe a 2024. The production starts supposedly the spring, early summer of 23. So we'll see how that's going. And I'd like to get everybody's thoughts here. Get back to the comments. Brujon, dealer stock will be for dealers that haven't gotten a lot of orders, period. And you know what? And that would be fine too. They need to feed all the dealers something, right? And that's all levels, different models, things like that. So whatever they can, that would be great. Mobile Motto said, why does the Maverick come with a hybrid, but the Sport does not? Same chassis. That is interesting. I have no idea. Like, that's a really good question. I hadn't thought about that. You would think that, is it price point? You know what I mean? Like the Maverick is that entry level. If you look at where it starts at, it's a very low price. Still, you build one out. And of course, you want to add everything, right? It gets carried away, add this, add that. Next thing you know, you're up to 30 when it started out low 20s or somewhere around 20. So maybe it's that. I have no idea, Mobile. I have to think about that one a little bit. I think that offering the hybrid in the Bronco, we know it's coming eventually. I mean, Ford has said it is. We just don't know when. But I just think that for something like that to be a secret, we were talking earlier about the oats, and it showed up accidentally. Somebody was looking at some, government paperwork for filing, I guess, recording VINs or filing for VINs for 23. And that document was actually done in May. And it looks like somebody did some really good homework, found it, and put it over on, I think it was Bronco 6G originally. And then I went online and found it last weekend. And it was very interesting. The Raptor's coming, right? No secret to anyone, but the second Heritage was new and that Oats was new. So I would definitely love to know everyone's comments on that. What do you think? Sorry, folks. I got to take a swig of water there. Sport hybrid is coming. Bronco 78. I would agree. The question Mobile had was, why isn't it now? That's interesting. I don't know why. Who knows? Maverick starts at 21. Bronco Sport starts at 28. There you go. So price point probably does matter, and especially if you get a Bronco Sport Badlands. I mean, the price goes goes up. Pretty good. Anyway, so we're looking forward to next week. We just talked a little bit about the name stuff tonight, and that's over with. Next week's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see all kinds of cool vehicles up at the Woodward Dream Cruise. It is a long trip from us, coming from southeastern Virginia, but it's a trip we can't wait to make. It'll be one of Gavin's last things he can do for his summer break before he goes back to school, and then before we have a lot of business stuff coming up and a lot of things happening in business, so I won't be able to do a lot of traveling, period. So let's see. Bronco 78. Why not? Because Ford doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. I think it's been hard on manufacturers. I do know that in my humble opinion, there's too much energy put right now, no pun intended, on the EV stuff. It's like blazing the trails. And I was reading an article where it said that Tesla's market share might shrink. Now it's a projection. You know how those are. It's like rumors kind of, but they were looking at trends for Ford and GM and other manufacturers. And then they're looking at Tesla and saying maybe Tesla's market share goes from over 50% or whatever it is now to 15% by 2025. I need to, for next week, if we're not too much into the Woodward thing, maybe we'll do an article on that or post an article here. But I mean, my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion, Elon's he's his own dude, man. He does things his way. And I think sometimes there's resistance in that. And, we'll see. I mean, I'll tell you, if Tesla would change, if they would offer another model of vehicle that was a little bit more like a traditional style, like take the Ford Lightning. It looks like, with small changes, an F-150. I mean, that's what it is, an F-150 that's been modified. The Maverick Hybrid, it's a new vehicle, but I mean, it looks like something that would be sold now. I think if you look at the Cybertruck, it's just so far out there in design. You have to be hardcore and just want, the total Tesla fan, which, I mean, the EV industry is where it is right now because of Tesla. And that's just, in my humble opinion, that's fact and then other people are jumping on that now. But I just think that if there was more of a conventional designed vehicle, that Tesla would be selling a lot more and continuing to sell a lot more in the future. Now, battery technology, there's a lot of that happening. And, just because you're first doesn't mean you'll always be first or you'll always be the best. So you always have to keep reinventing yourself and your company. And so we'll see what changes, but these economists, the same economists that, or people that study market trends and things that never saw 08 coming, well, they're predicting this for Tesla in 5 or 3 years, 2.5 years. We'll see. I mean, but like I said, Elon's a smart dude, man. So he'll keep changing his company around and keep doing what he wants to do. Let's see. Do you see where Ford is raising the price on the EVs to match the new tax break that would be available with this new bill that was passed? Yeah, it's, the whole, all of that. We don't talk politics on the show, so I'll leave that alone. I'll leave it up to your imagination for all that. So I don't want to go there. Let's see. And I think we have this video that I started sketching out, like how is it going to look? So doing bullet points and an outline of a video. And for our 10,000 mile review of our 22 Bronco. Now, I don't know when we get back from Michigan if we'll be able to do it on the 21 or not. But I think that's going to be a great video. And when you switch, switching off of EV stuff and just back to Bronco, like we talk about here every Wednesday night, let's see how the quality control looks, or the quality of the vehicle that I currently have in the 22. And then right after that, we'll do one of the 22 or the 21. It's it's kind of cool that the 21 was a lot earlier, obviously built in September last year, coming up on a year very, very soon. That's kind of time flies, you're having fun. But how was the quality when we got it? And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. And then how's been the quality been up to that 10,000 mile mark? And I think that's going to be a really good video for especially people on the fence that don't really know, like they haven't bought a Bronco. They don't know someone with one. Like this weekend, someone that I know has a friend that is getting ready to order one, and they haven't been able to really sit in one. Well, I'm going to let them sit in it and drive it around the block and see how they like it. And then they'll know if they want Sasquatch or not, 2.7 or not. Of course, you won't have a 2.3 to compare it to, but you kind of just see what the 2.7 is, and MIC, is it worth waiting, or do they do the soft top? And so a lot of people are still, I had someone comment this week. They said, we're looking for a different perspective in the vehicle with the top down while driving. Like, okay, cool. So we have a video like that, but we're going slow through a park. So we're going to mount the GoPro in the back and mute the sound, because all you'll hear is, wind blowing in the mic. But they're looking for that. If you're in the back seat, what would it feel like view? I have no idea why, but everyone has their different ways of judging what vehicle do they like or not. And I figure, well, these questions always spur ideas for video. So let's do this video and maybe mount the GoPro on the very back of the sport bar and, see what it looks like from there. And by the way, we have some crazy lightning happening outside right now. So if everything goes black, it wasn't technology tonight, it would be the power. And we do have a generator here, but you always have that lag, And if you just tuned in, by the way, hit the like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. Channel is growing, and hopefully we grow a lot more and we start doing some really, really cool stuff. The Mustang will be a project coming up on this channel. It has a fuel pump issue. It leaks a little fuel, and what could go wrong, right? Leaking fuel and electricity. So I'm changing that out. And once that is fixed, then we're going to get it road ready again. And we're kind of following along, do videos of that. It's literally been sitting a year. I mean, you saw the one video where we pulled it out of the garage, and I fixed the valve train issues that I've had with it. But we haven't driven it in over a year. So it's getting ready to hit the road again. And then we're going to start a project where we take out the hot rod engine and do a crate conversion, Ford crate engine and AOD transmission. And that's going to be fun. And, because the older I get, the less of this, Cam 2 that costs $8 or $9 a gallon, whatever it is. And I have to go to like 30 minutes away to get it. And all the maintenance on an engine that has that much compression and all that good stuff. And I want to be able to get in, hit the key, and just drive wherever I want to drive. And so I'm looking forward to bringing that car back to that cruiser type thing. So that's going to be some really good content on here. A lot of people take a regular stock street car and they make a hot rod out of it. Well, I want to slowly transition this from a hot rod back to a street car. So that ought to be a little bit different take, I think. All righty. So what do we got going on? Pez Head said, is Bronco Santa going to the Dream Cruise? I think he is. Yes. Yeah. He's staying at the same hotel as we are. So we're going to blame anything that goes wrong on him there. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Brew John. TSB now says 6 quarts of oil for the 2.7. So I have not seen that. I have heard. So now I'm really confused, right? So the sump is supposed to be deeper on the 2.7. And I know that we have 7 quarts in ours. And if you look at the dipstick, it's slightly above the top of the hash marks. So there's a little hole there. It's in between, I think, the hash mark and that first hole, the top, not the first one from the bottom, but the top hole. I'm still uncomfortable, with the 6 quart thing, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know how they determine that. I know how we determine it. It's basically in an engine that you're converting the oil pan to. It's almost like this. What we always looked at was running out of oil at our cavitation. You want to make sure cavitation. I know people, I'm going to get corrected on that. I've been corrected. I can't say it properly. Okay. But the drain back. So when the engine's running, how fast is the oil draining back? So the pump is submersed in oil and it has the oil to pump, right? And so, but too much oil then adds parasitic loss to an engine. So if the more the crank is sloshing through oil, the more drag that has on the engine. So there's that that fine line between enough oil draining back and the oil pump having oil not running out versus too much oil causing parasitic loss. And, hot rod engines can have things like windage trays, these little shields that help separate that, but the oil's still there. So it's interesting. I just need to read up more on that. I did hear that that's out there, but I haven't taken any further than that. So I guess we shall see. And I do appreciate you bringing that up because it reminds me. Oh, let's see. Uh-oh. I'll be the one driving the Bronco. Uh-oh, is that a dig? Yeah. Let's see. So Pezhead 123. So you said me too. Are you going? So I guess you're going to be there. That'd be awesome to meet everyone there. And look, I think that's going to be a great opportunity for people that don't go because of proximity to Supercell or never been, but Supercell East that, going up north like that, we're going to get to meet a lot of cool people. And I know All Terrain Nation's going to have a really good deal there with a meetup somewhere. And I will, to be determined. That's going to be fun. I think it's going to be really good. So, but Friday's busy up there with Bronco Nation. And then Saturday, there's some stuff in the morning, then the meet and greet and then a cruise. And it's just going to be cool. So I can't wait to go, and it should be fun. And if you've been before, all right, Pezhead 123, good deal. Hope to see you there. If you've been before, I'd love to know. I mean, I've watched the videos, right? I know what it is, but it'd just be cool for somebody that's been there, leave a little comment how fun it was. So, but the Bronco oil change thing, or the oil level, that's interesting. Very interesting. So I know, and some people were talking with the whole discrepancy before was when they drain oil, they could only get 6 or a little over 6 quarts out. I know we did that hour-long oil change video. And it was painful to watch all the stuff, but it was basically to show what happens when you allow for all the drain back that an engine will ever have. I think it was 46 hours. Whatever oil was that. Now that's, by the way, I didn't get too many comments on this, but the one thing that I was surprised I didn't get hit on was, the reason why I don't want an engine to sit so long. Now, this is mainly higher miles where you have dirtier oil, more crud in an engine, is some of this stuff will get suspended in the oil, the contaminants, right? Small bits and pieces, metal and things like that. So if you allow it to sit too long, the oil drains out of the pan, and sure, some of it comes out with it. But a lot of that may sit on the bottom of the pan because of its weight. So when you crank a vehicle up, you warm the oil, and you get all that stuff sloshing around and moving. The idea is you turn it off and let it drain back, but then you also drain the oil before it sat too long. Unless it's some really big crud floating around in the oil, if you turn it off and 2 hours later did the oil change, you're probably fine, in my humble opinion. But they do recommend like 15, 20 minutes after you turn it off to start draining the oil out. So the reason why I did this one that I did with a long drain back, it was a new engine. I wasn't really worried about too much in the oil, in which the oil filter proved that it was, in my humble opinion, better than average. Any production shavings or anything like that. There was a few tiny bits of pieces of aluminum stuck in the filter, which is what the filter's supposed to do. But it was less than I've seen in other vehicles. So I was very happy with everything about my oil change in my 2.7. But the older an engine gets, you want to make sure that when you crank it up, you drain it out so all that stuff that's suspended in the oil doesn't settle to the pan. It actually leaves with the oil. And then oil analysis always tell you what condition your engine's in, right? So you can then determine kind of what's happening in the engine with bearing wear, because when bearings wear, it leaves the byproduct, right? The worn bearing, it leaves it in the oil. And if you do an oil analysis, those are picked up. Different alloys and coppers and nickels or whatever the different compounds are that make up bearings. And you know, a lot of people can predict stuff based on oil samples. So it's always good stuff to know there. But anyway, yeah, that's very interesting, everyone. I appreciate you bringing that up, and I'm going to look into the oil change. See, it also says can't exceed 7.5 if 7 quarts is done at service. Yeah, and there again, I wouldn't. I mean, whatever they say it's needs, that's what I'm doing. So if they do send that out and say 6 quarts is it, well, 6 quarts it is. Jonathan said, I'm a few hours north of there, but can't go. Have to work. Hope someone is videoing all the Broncos so we can see everyone. So I'm sure anyone with the YouTube channel is going to be filming. I know we're going to probably run out of every card we have in every camera, but yeah, we're going to film everything and then see what we can make videos out of it in the end. Let's see if going full synthetic, you can use GT500 FL 2087 filter with better construction. Didn't know that either. I'll look into that. Good info. So the same overall. So I thought the GT500 had a spin-on filter. So it's a cartridge because I don't know. See, the 2.3 has a spin-on filter that you access through the driver's side fender, whereas the 2.7 has the canister on the top. Very interesting. I need to look into that. Learning something tonight as we go. I appreciate the comments, by the way, too. And speaking of which, hit the like button for me if you don't mind. Just take 1 second to do it, and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, we have some really cool, Bronco stuff coming out. I think we have a video coming out later this week, and I think one next week, and then it's going to be Woodward Dream Cruise stuff, for a few videos from there. But I'm sure a lot of the videos are going to be what Ford, releases or lets us know about, if anything, while we're there. But I have to believe if you're sponsoring it, a big event, a lot of eyeballs, a lot of cameras, perfect time to reveal something and to roll it out. So totally expecting at least one, if not all three of what is on that VIN decoder, Heritage Limited, and the Oats. And then it'd be nice to see some Broncos driving around. I sat in one and looked one over in Townsend and then got to look at one up in Carlisle, but it would be different just to see one cruising, down the road, I guess. And so we'll see. But anyway, hopefully we'll get some info on ours as far as the build date, and we'll see what's going on. I am getting nervous, though. I'm getting extremely nervous. I haven't heard anything, so we'll see what's going on. All right, everyone. We have been going. Let's see, how long have we been here tonight? 58 minutes. 2 more minutes, and we're going to call it a night. And don't go anywhere quite yet. Sorry, trying to say 3 words at once. Let's see, what content, if you don't mind typing this in there, what content would you like to see us do on this channel? More Mustang cars in general, stick with mostly Bronco. I mean, trust me, Bronco's not going anywhere. Wednesday nights is all 90% Bronco. And that's definitely not changing. But what other content would you like to see? A lot of people checked our channel out because of a lot of the Bronco stuff. But I'd like to know, the 4-wheelers and dirt bikes and all that, and all the crazy off-road stuff that we can do there. Cars, Mustangs, Camaros, any, Dodge products. I don't care. There's my neighbor has a couple old Jeeps, and we're looking at maybe one day doing a video between the two. It'd be kind of a neat thing to do there. But, I would definitely like to know, what do you want to know more about? And if I cover it, people are like, man, why is he talking about that? Bronco 78 said, interested in the new Ranger Raptor that is coming. So am I. And I mean, when you look at some of this stuff that is on these vehicles, I like the fact that the frame is the T6 chassis. The 3.0 in that Ranger is going to be, I think, pretty intense. It really is. And then all of the off-roading overlanding things that you can do with that. There's going to be a lot of the overlanders that are going to try to get their hands on, I think, one of those. The performance side of things, the cool factor of it, the name, some cool colors, especially the code orange. I think a lot of, people that like off-roading, but they want a truck. I mean, I think it's really going to appeal. I don't know how many they're going to build. I haven't heard a solid number on that. So how many are they expecting to build in the Ranger Raptors? Now, I know other areas of the world, like the Ranger Wild Track, is the Wild Track coming here? I would hope so, because then that would sort of be from the, regular Ranger. It would be sort of that off-road fun, something, because they're only going to build so many Raptors, right? And so if they were to build something that was extreme off-road, then it would be maybe the Wild Track in addition to the limited quantity of Raptors. I can't imagine they're going to, just, build, tens of thousands of them at all. I mean, it takes more to build, it takes a little bit longer to build, I think. At least the Bronco Raptor does, if they do some things with the shock mounts in the back and it rolls to mod shop and all that good stuff. So, there's a lot to keep up with. Colors that map can paint, how many colors they can paint, how many colors they can paint at one time, how much they can do through rotation. So building the Ranger at the same place as the Bronco, and now what's going to happen if the Ranger really takes off and people are buying those like crazy? It looks like a future plant to separate the two would probably be a great idea. However, that's years in the making and a lot of capital. So we'll go from there. Jonathan said Ranger Raptor, Gavin's first vehicle. His first one's the 21 Bronco, but he may change his mind. That is very possible. So Mobile said the Ranger hasn't sold well enough to justify a Wild Track and a Raptor. So I agree with you on the current Ranger, but the new platform coming out, I think, is going to be more hype, attention, marketing. And I really believe that with the 2 inches wider, 2 inches longer, I mean, to be able to put a piece of plywood in the back of between the fender wells would be amazing, right? Then one of the biggest complaints that people had, so, well, if I use it for work and I'm hauling stuff, then everything that I have in there is kind of at an angle. Well, I can tell you that might seem like small bean, and it is small beans, and it's but I mean, it's the idea that if I want to use it for work, light work, getting a 4 foot wide piece of plywood in the back between the fender wells would work great. So if they've extended it 2 inches and they've moved or tightened up the fender wells inside the bed, then they're going to be able to do that, right? They're going to be able to get that piece of plywood in there. So, I mean, trust me, people that buy Rangers so they can put plywood in the back is not going to blow the sales up. But I mean, that's a tiny contributing thing to it becoming bigger, a better ride. So if it's 2 inches longer and they've stretched the wheelbase, stretching the wheelbase and moving the front, I should say the front axle forward helps with approach. So if you're going up an approach angle to, say, a rock or a hill or whatever, obviously there's less vehicle in front of the tire, so you have more of an approach angle. You have a greater distance. There's that, but then there's also, okay, well, if they move that forward, they're able to add stuff between the engine and the transmission. And what is that? That's hybrid stuff. And so that T6 chassis there, again, it comes into being favorable. I know that it just would feel bigger. There's people that would buy one that felt a little bit bigger. It's a new model. It's new suspension. It's going to ride better. I think in Mobile, I get it, your comment. Yeah, like I totally agree with you. I just think that marketed properly, this one's going to sell a lot better. So we'll see what's going on. We've had good sales on Ranger trimmer version, so Raptor will be doing great. Yeah, and I've got some not proven stuff, but my neighbor just got a new F350 trimmer. I think it's a 350. It's either 250. I want to say it's a 350. And it's funny, when I got my F250 in 17, so I got it in December of 16. It's a 17, first year of the new body style and the remake of the F-250, the new version. The 17 and 18 was higher than the 19, 20, 21, 22s. Apparently, my truck and that trimmer now is about the same height. So that's interesting. I can't wait to compare and do some measuring, right, between the ground, the bumper, the ground, the fender wells, and things like that. I just thought it was interesting that it seems that the trimmers now is back to the height of my truck was before they lowered it after the first 2 years. That's something we definitely want to talk about on this channel as well. It's interesting. It's not like everybody needs to know, but it's kind of cool to know that, you know, you can get that trimmer now and it's a really expensive vehicle. And I sort of have the same, not just a ride height. I get it. A lot of stuff has changed, but I just basically got a really good deal getting my truck the first year when I did. Now, sometimes that's a bad idea, but my truck's been great. Wouldn't change a thing. So we'll go from there. All righty. I'm going to 6250. Okay. So there you go. Let's see. I bought Rangers because it wasn't an F-150 because I didn't need an F-150. And there you go. That was the other thing. If it gets any bigger, then what's the need for both, right? So I think there comes a point to where you can't go any bigger or you merge the two. And people want a smaller truck because they want to do smaller things. But I do agree with anyone in the design world that said, hey, you should be able to get 4-foot products in the bed of the truck if you want to. Hauling furniture, hauling, you know, whatever you haul in a pickup truck, right? I like the idea. Now, I really like the idea of it being 2 inches longer and then moving the wheelbase in the front. I think that giving it a lot better ride than that shorter wheelbase. So we'll see how it goes from there. And we shall see. So yeah, my F-250, and we'll probably do a video in there. Dirk Connor said, I've always been a Mustang fan. Well, awesome. I have, you know, the roof of this car here, this black Mustang. This car has been with me in one way, shape, or form. I first saw it when I was 13, and I'm over 50 now. So a lot of history of this car. And you know, other brands as well. There's people interested in other brands. I want to know what some of the new, you know, what Jeep's doing with some of the new stuff, because I want to see what the competition is. I mean, I'm all Bronco, but I want to see, you know, like what are they coming out with? And when we change, the biggest thing about the Broncos, I was telling someone, if you have a Jeep, there's a really good chance that you spend a lot of money in making it what you want. I bought 2 Broncos that are exactly what I want. You know, now we are talking about when the tires wear out, putting 37s on one of them just to give it a difference, right? To separate the two. But the Bronco is like, for me, learning and getting into off-roading and doing stuff, it's everything that I want. And I don't have to go out and spend tens of thousands of dollars to make it, you know, cool for me. But now I know some people, they, you know, want to change it up and make it uniquely theirs. And that's cool too. That's part of all this. And so that's what I like about everybody doing something different. It's pretty cool. Hey, and I didn't do a video on or get a link on this. Did you see the Bronco that had the tracks on it going up that hill? I forget where they were. They were at sand dunes somewhere. Somebody just texted me a picture. We have some crazy weather happening here in southeastern Virginia, and there's a bridge that is got a lot of water right up to it that doesn't normally have it. So I'm gonna go check that out. Let's see. The Maverick has a flat wheel wells in the bed to accommodate for full size sheets of plywood and drywall. Maybe they'll do that with the new Ranger. Maybe they will. For every sub, you feed a Bronco Santa. That's right. Hey, and by the way, everyone watching right now, head over to Overlanding for Fun, by the way. Tim did a really, really cool video on the slide out tailgate. Go check it out. Hit that like button, subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. But it was Overlanding for Fun over on YouTube. It's a really good video. We had an opportunity to film one up in Carlisle. Well, we had one opportunity to do it in Townsend, but I didn't think about it. Carlisle, Gavin said, because we actually did a short on it, but they were playing music up there. And, you know, YouTube doesn't like that. So we're trying to figure that out. But Gavin did the short, and that's what he wanted to do. And that's what we did. But then Tim actually broke it down and put some, you know, the pros and cons about it in there. So his video is definitely something to check out if you're interested in that slide out tailgate. Like I said, very good video. Go check it out after our stream's over with, of course. And I just lost 2 people watching. So they're over on your page now. So thank me later. But no, seriously, it's a really good video and go check it out. Let's see. Bronco 78 said, was that the recent Bronco event, the dunes up in Michigan? It was. And so someone had a black, or could have been a, it was a Badlands, but I think it was black hardtop. And yeah, they put those tracks on there, and he or she just cruised right up to the top of the dune, and it looked effortless. And more than likely a 2.7, because just a lot of torque needed on that, in my humble opinion. But yeah, and if you're watching right now, live or on replay, and haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. That'd be great, and we hope to bring you some really, really cool content. Yeah, this week's going to go by quick. Next Wednesday will be here before you know it, and we'll be talking about some other stuff, but of course, getting ready for Woodward and that long road trip. And can't wait to meet everyone that watches us now, to meet up there, and to meet up with some folks at Bronco Nation again and go do some cool stuff on Friday. I think it's going to be great. Head over to the bronconation.com, check out the calendar there, see what's happening if you're going up there. And yeah, we'll see what's happening up there. Like I said, first trip, it's going to be fun. So anyway, okay, we're officially over the hour mark. So, but look, seriously, we're going to go tonight. Had a long day at work, and got another long one tomorrow. Like I said, we have a crazy schedule coming up, but ultimately good stuff in the end for us all. And I do appreciate everyone sticking with me, and thanks for not, the channel name change was something that I really struggle with. And my friends know personally that I've, belly ached about it, because I don't want to rock the boat or anything. And I kind of like the old Bronco, wild outdoors, but as we grow, we want to be able to make sure we grow with our own brand, and well, Bronco Wild Outdoors is my own brand, but, Driven matches. I guess what I mean by that is the Driven, the book. Then I do these speaking events where it's the, Driven speaking tour type thing. The drivengear.com, our website, you can buy the book at and eventually close. And that's what I mean by keeping the brand the same, right? So it's that Driven idea, Driven Wild Outdoors, and cool stuff. Hopefully we'll be able to do some wild stuff with vehicles. Gavin won't be able to do it. He'll have to be somewhere safe, but hopefully I'll be able to drive some vehicles and get some performance out of them, show everyone. We have a couple cool mod shops in the area. They do all kinds of modifications. Some of them build show cars. And I'm hoping to be able to do a video there, but this one place you'll go by, you'll see a Scooby van one week. They built some rocket car. They built a Batmobile. I mean, exactly like the original Batman car, the old one back in the 60s, I think it was. Anything you've ever seen, they can or have built it. It's pretty cool. And the last thing is there's a Coastal Virginia Auto Show here. It's an inside, they have an inside and outside show. Sorry, I have to mute. Don't want to cough on camera. And they have an inside and an outside. Well, you have to submit an application to see if you're allowed inside, because it's select, parking. And we've put our name in the hat for 3 spots inside. So the 2 Broncos and the 66. And if we get to go ahead, we're going to put our displays together, and that's going to be cool. And that'd be good for a channel. So if you're in the Mid-Atlantic region and you check that show out, I'll put some dates next week on when the show is. And also hopefully by then I'll know if I'm in it. But it's in Virginia Beach. And it's in, I want to say, the end of September, early November, but I'll put the dates on here, everyone knows. But I think it's Coastal Virginia Auto Show, inside and outside. That's going to be pretty cool. Mobile Miles said Lincoln Versailles. There you go. Silver Lake in Sand Dunes at Bronco. Takeover Mears, Michigan Bronco with tracks. There you go. That was a cool video. I didn't see a lot. I was like almost like a short type thing, but it just cruised right up that dune like nobody's business. And that's something I want to look into. How much those tracks cost and how rough on the vehicle are they? I know you take your tire off and it sort of bolts where the tire, but on steering and stuff like that, is it really hard to steer? How does that work? I don't really know. So we'll check it out. Let's see. The company who licensed by DC Comics to build the old Batman replicas is based in Indiana and has made news lately. I'll have to check that out. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah. Mobile. You're talking about the old Batman car. Sorry. Yeah. That was a cool car. I remember seeing something on the Speed Network years ago. I think it's called the Speed Network, where the person that did a lot of these modifications for cars in Hollywood, where they built that car, it was pretty interesting to hear like the imagination of some people. If they'll say, "Hey, I want something, and here's kind of the idea," and then they build it, and what they built matches the storyline or the character or something like that. I really think it's interesting. One of the things that I really wanted was when the remake of Batman with Michael Keaton came out in 1989, I think. That car was really cool. I'm sure if you saw it up close and in person, you see a lot with it, but I know on the movie it was really, really cool. So seeing some stuff like that, it would be very, very interesting. I wouldn't trust that Bronco tie rod ends with the tracks, increase movement arm and load in the steering with the tracks. Yeah, I would say that was what I was worried about, right? The mass that's turning, even though it's, as you're moving, it's less drag, but that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of mass. So it'd be interesting to see how much maneuverability you could have with that. So for the cost of it, you're probably very limited on your usage, but it did look cool in that video, man. I actually like it. Yep. The mobile said he lives about an hour. Logan Sport, where the Batman replicas are made. And yeah, and I don't know the company over here in Virginia Beach, what they build or build them for, but I know they're always at shows. But I just think it's pretty daggone cool. I mean, they build some cool stuff, and they're always on display somewhere. And I think some companies, if you're advertising, what's one of the best things that you can do if you're on a busy road to get attention? You see the balloons and you see all that good stuff, but to have something crazy like a Batmobile or a Scooby-Bill or something, or some rocket, truck that has a rocket on the back. I mean, that draws attention, right? It's about breaking someone's pattern well, what breaks it other than something crazy you haven't seen? And maybe you pull in, check it out, and there you go. So the whole and I think maybe there's some of that, and then maybe there's some hobby into it, but either way, they build some cool stuff. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see it. Hey, everyone, I appreciate you joining me tonight. Thanks for the support. If you haven't already, please hit that overlanding for fun, a Wienermobile. Yeah. There's a few of those around too. Can you imagine having a job just driving that over the country? I mean, but yeah, that'd be about pretty cool. But I do appreciate you watching tonight. Each and every Wednesday, Extreme Bronco Live is not going anywhere, not changing the name, even though our channel name changed, but more Bronco content coming. Next week, especially, we're going to have a lot of stuff for the Bronco, our 10,000 mile review of our 22, and the trip to Woodward Dream Cruise. So that's going to be all really cool. A lot of good stuff, a lot of cool stuff happening there. But I appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and I am out. See ya.